Sorting Pokemon cards is one of the most challenging parts of running a Pokemon card business. You might be also a collector that just has Pokemon cards and you want to know how to sort them better. Well, in this video I'm going to break down my process of how I receive my cards, all the way to shipped cards, and if you stay to the end I'm going to show you the entire background of how I actually store my cards in my one-room flat. And so in this video we're going to go over my framework and over a few tips on how I sort my cards. So let's go ahead and hop into this. Now, I started buying massive inventory around September of last year, roughly about 50,000 Pokemon cards from bulk auctions mainly on eBay to set up my initial inventory. And if you do not have a good system on storing those amounts of cards, you will quickly end up searching forever. And if you got orders with more than 10 cards, even one order can keep you busy searching for half an hour or maybe more. And this is not sustainable, and you cannot do this if you want to sell many cards. Then if card sells and you're like, oh, I can't fulfill this order because I don't know where it is, maybe you've experienced the same, so you have a problem then. And inventory management and properly storing cards is mandatory for card sellers, but also for collectors. That has also massive amounts of cards, and yeah, a way of sorting is always helpful for them as well. When managing your inventory, and especially with Pokemon cards, having a clear system is critical, and your approach to sorting, storing, listing and shipping will differ depending on your situation. For instance, channels like Chase from TCG Bulkings have entire frameworks for sorting by categories and alphabetically. And if you don't know this channel, just check it out, it's really cool. And also for bulk sellers, it's a very nice starting point. But for this video, let's dive into my method, which focuses on Pokemon cards, also with multiple languages. Since I live in Switzerland, I have also German cards, not only English cards. And maybe you can then adapt this easily to most other TCG games as well, not only for Pokemon TCG. First, you've got to get your hands on cards. You can't sort what you don't have. I bought nearly my whole inventory from eBay bulk auctions and opened many booster packs also by myself. For you, whether it's buying inventory or working with your personal collection you already got, choose an area where all your new inventory goes. For me, I put all my new cards in a corner of my room or on a table until I start checking the condition and then start the sorting process. Now, this helps prevent disorganization. Since sorting can be tedious, there are already some automated machines that can do the job for you, but they are quite expensive. They usually start around $3,000, but they can easily go up much higher. So I'm just doing it manually for now. After receiving inventory, I first take a quick look at the card conditions. Often you get the same condition for your whole purchase, and you can do this very fast when you just grab like 100 cards and turn them to their back. And on the back of the card you quickly notice the imperfections. On the front it takes longer to detect them. So I just grab all cards in piles of about 100 and then I double check a few of them of the front as well. Usually if all looks near mint from the back, you don't condition them one by one. But if some look not so good, I usually go through them in more detail. But right now I got like 95% in near mint. And if you inspect the images, if you buy the cards already, usually you will have only very few cards with excellent condition or below. This usually changes for vintage cards. Here you need to inspect the cards more closely, as they will often differ in condition, so vintage cards take more time to sort than modern cards. After checking the conditions and doing the condition sorting, I start sorting by the set names or the set symbols. Sorting by set helps tremendously since hundreds of Pokemon cards exist across tons of sets. And in total we got like over 150 sets and over 20,000 unique Pokemon cards. Sorting alphabetically alone wouldn't be specific enough. How long this takes heavily depends if the seller already separated them per set or if all cards are just pro chaos. If it's already sorted, it only takes a minute, but otherwise this could take some time. I just use a large table and build piles of each unique set. Once sorted by set, I use a large table and put little post-its on it and label each one with a letter ranging from A to Z. If you have multiple languages for your cards, you should sort them first per language. Otherwise, directly grab your first set pile and start sorting each card for the first letter. No need to sort them after the second and third letter, since we already sorted them per set. We usually end up with a maximum of 10 to 15 different cards per letter and can quickly find them when we got a sale in our inventory. For all conditions that are not near mint, you can either group it per era, like Scarlet and Violet, or Sword and Shield, and sort it alphabetically. Or if you got many of those cards, you do it exactly as you do it with the near mint cards. But for my 50,000 cards inventory, I do it per era, for all conditions below near mint, since I have almost only near mint cards, as I mentioned, and for vintage, I do it also per era and condition. In general, I do not sell cards below good condition for vintage cards at all, and excellent cards for modern cards. After sorting, it is now time to list the cards. This means either you already got the card listed on the platforms you list your cards on, then you simply update the amount of the cards and maybe check if the price changed and then adjust it, or the card is not listed yet, so you got a new card, then you need to create a new card offer on all the platforms you are selling on. For valuable cards, everything above $1, I sleeve and top load them immediately and put them in a separate box and then list them separately. But if you like, you can store them as well with the other bulk cards, but I like to store them all in a separate box and get them all alphabetically sorted there. If you own really large amounts of valuable cards, I would advise to store them with the bulk cards or sorted separately per era in a box. But since I do not own high amounts of very valuable cards, but mainly bulk, I do just store them all together. I got maybe like 300 cards that have values over $1 right now in my shop. The most other part is bulk or graded cards. Once sorted and listed, cards go into these boxes, clearly labeled by set and alphabetically organized using tall dividers for different sets. And the final step is then, shipping. If you followed all these steps, fulfilling orders becomes easy. You know exactly where each card is, just pick them all up and then send them to your customers. Now let's do a quick behind the scenes tour. Here are my boxes. Since I do not have a large amount of free space, I store them all over my 2 rooms and use available space that I got. As you can see, these boxes are clearly labeled. For shipping, I keep bubble mailers and supplies conveniently close. And my next room, we see that I store them also in another space, since I have not so much space. I got like also the ETBs for storage, and then have again here other things so that I do not screw up my rooms totally. So just integrate them in my usual flat environment. Since I want to use all my space, I also use like ETBs to store them, some of them, and then separate them per language. And then I have like these boxes for my more valuable cards, and just have them in the top loaders then. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tour. If you'd like to learn more about shipping or running a Pokemon card shop in general, make sure to check out my channel and feel free to subscribe. And see you in the next one.